Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new week and a brand new game. Well, it's not a brand new game, it's from, 2010? Developed by, was it Obsidian Entertainment? We can have a look actually. Alpha Protocol, yeah. Right, fuck that. So, indeed, I think it's by Obsidian and published by Sega, of all people, weirdly enough. And it is indeed, it's a very interesting game. This, what we have here, is a story-driven, well, narrative-driven espionage RPG. So we've got a couple of agent histories. So this is the history of our main character, our protagonist. So we've got soldier, decorated for service in the armed forces. So you've been recruited from the armed service. Then there is the field agent. So you are recruited from the U.S. State Department. Tech specialist, so you are recruited through CIA originally. And then there's freelancer, which basically means that what you've done is you've become a mercenary or a gun for hire soldier of fortune, and you've been recruited through there. So all of these impact what kind of a character you can actually create. If you create a soldier, you're going to have your skills are going to be restricted more towards guns and stuff like that. Field agent, I can't remember what that is about. Tech specialist, of course, tech stuff, and I think shotguns. Then we've got recruit, and this is additional challenge. And I'm going to be honest now, you can get this game on Steam and cheap, and you should get it. You should definitely get it. If you are interested in, even slightly interested after this video, or after the series. And the recruit is how this, I think, is meant to be played. So, you are the greenest, wettest fucking recruit possible, and you get somehow recruited from that. And that unlocks the veteran, which is, again, it's a little bit like just more hardcore when you go into it. So it's interesting that like you've got all these character, like you've got all these histories there, but what you should do is you should just start with the blankest fucking slate possible. So these are the skills that you start with if you select recruit. We can have a look at, for example, soldier. We've got submachine guns, assault rifles, a little bit of technical aptitude and toughness. Field agent, we've got stealth, which makes sense, martial arts and pistols. And most of the skills are very, very easy to explain. Let's freelancer. Oh, freelancer can buy his skills with 31 points. So first rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, blah blah blah. Oh no, it's not. It's 6 and oh, it's just 6 and 6 and 6. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so recruit, start with no skills. Veteran, you start with 3 in everything. And this is a very powerful starting point as well. I think you can even, for example, if you don't use shotguns, like I don't use shotguns, you can mod your skills a little bit here as well. But just for the added difficulty, we're going to go for the recruit. Sega presents.
Air traffic control, this is Alpha 254, requesting clearance for departure. Roger that. Are clear. Proceed to runway 5. Alpha 10, we are clear for departure. Please take it.
There we go, Obsidian, yeah. Anyone else getting a Splinter Cell kind of feel?
News will have more on this story as it develops.
If anyone is to blame for these events, Mr. Thornton, it is you. Alpha Protocol began here, after all.
They drugged me? Great. Now I'm gonna fail the next drug screening test. They could have just asked me to close my eyes.
There we go. We have regained control. Oh my god, the camera's going a little bit weird, but I think that's a feature. So, spacebar. Weirdly, this actually does have quite good
You're awake.
mouse controls,
I
although
wasn't sure how long you'd be under. Those tranquilizers wore off fast.
Ugh. Oh, I think I'm still coming down.
What?
Ugh, never mind. Just clearing my head.
The dose is pretty strong.
So,
I'm surprised you're even able to stand.
Where am I?
You're locked in our medical bay. And when the guards find out you've regained consciousness, they'll put you under again.
Don't want that. Any reason why you're helping me?
Mina. Let's just say I'm not a fan of the indoctrination procedure here.
All the more reason to leave then.
And how do you propose to do that? You're locked in. There's a guard outside. Eventually he's going to come check on you. And when he does...
Can you distract the guard? Unlock the door.
I could. A glitch in the security panel in the hall outside might do it.
right.
As long as you don't make too much noise when you leave. You might take him by surprise while he's checking it.
Brilliant.
Disabling the security system now. The door should be unlocked.
So, what you had a look at there was how the dialogue system works. So basically, you're given three to four. The fourth one is usually context sensitive, and let's just. Anyway, so I failed that sneaking bit so hard, but it doesn't matter because this is the tutorial a bit, and there we go. You can kick the doors open, or you can close them nicely. Well, open them nicely. I don't think you
need
can
to shut
close
off the
doors.
alarm. The panel's on the wall. Do a bypass.
So, welcome to hacking. Anyway, so the dialogue system works by giving you three approaches. What you've got is a suave choice or a flippant choice on the left. It could be, well, it's either the charming choice, or it's going to be the snarky one. Then you've got the aggressive choice, and that doesn't even mean that you might punch the motherfucker. What that means is you're just going to be really aggressive, and that's going to be, all these are going to be dealt with, and all that's going to be used during the game, and that way you can actually get a proper look at that. And then the last one, which I used in the beginning, is the professional, and that's usually a calm, collected, a professional kind of look into things, and that's, unfortunately, it's also the one that breaks the game. most people will respect you if you are professional throughout the game. So that means that very quickly you can start, getting good reputation with people, even enemies. Interestingly enough, which is another part of the very, very interesting dialogue mechanic. And then down at the bottom you've got the context-sensitive one, which with recruit and veteran you can get their special ways. You can get the recruit has special context-sensitive actions, as does the veteran, and then there's stuff like punch a person. I think that one goes down there anyway. But it'll open up a little bit more as we go through. So for the bypass tutorial, right? So start bypass, and the way this works is you do the numbers.
Mike, careful. They probably have a guard in the lobby.
And that's how it works. For sneaking, you just press control, which is
Intriguing.
I'm not quite sure if I would prefer it to be C instead, but C opens the gadget menu. Then you've got the skills and the weapons, none of which we currently have. And I think that's also opened through... Is it tab? No, tab opens that. We're gonna have a look at the things as they come.
It's on.
So now we've been armed with a tranquilizer pistol, and all the 4 weapons that you have in this have slightly different kinds of ways they work. For example, as you can see with the pistol, strangely enough, the fucking tranquilizer round penetrates. But as you can see with the pistol, you've got a large reticule, and then when the reticule goes red and you get that very precise little angle, that means that what you are performing is a critical hit. So to the head, a critical hit is basically always, unless it's a boss character
Watch out for cameras.
or a
If you
character
spot people
who
or
has
destroy
armor,
them, they'll sound an alarm.
it's going to be an instant takedown. An instant kill, of course, with bullets, and then with tranquilizer darts, it's an instant debilitation. So, and definitely a very interesting way to do the thing, because what that means is you've got a couple more ways to approach combat. You've got all weapons have a couple of ammo types. Pistols have regular ammo, and then they've got, I think, magnum ammo and the tranquilizer darts. Then, oh shit!
Mike, they've dispatched a squad to your area.
Don't make this any harder than it has to be.
Well, that went to shit. I didn't know that guy was crouching there. Right. Well, I'm proving to be a brilliant fucking player at this game, aren't I? And yeah, so they decided to shoot me instead of doing something. Anyway, doesn't matter.
I'll check it out.
Right, there's an intimidating black man somewhere. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a white man this time. We'll just knock him out. Anyway. And the reason, of course, to investigate the area that you are in. Basically, the game is pretty linear, but you do usually have some freedom with the area and how you approach it, and more importantly, you usually have this optional stuff. And you know, not only optional objectives and stuff like that, but also a lot of a lot of intel, and a lot of this game does revolve around gathering intel and finding out more about what's going on. So, right, so start lockpicking. Oh yeah, you don't press it, you. This is so much easier on the PC, the lockpicking, than it is on console, because on console you need to press a button to, or well, you use the shoulder buttons and you press them a certain amount to raise the tumbler a certain amount.
Careful, Mike. Truck coming in. And guards at the exit. Try to stay out of sight if you can.
Right, so then we've got the special abilities, because as it was said, this is actually a role-playing game, so you are going to level up your character, you're going to get access to all sorts of stuff. So what we've got here is the... we press there we go. Awareness, so awareness reveals nearby enemies. And the more you get into that, the more information it shows. For example, at this basic level, the awareness thing shows where the enemies are facing and stuff like that. So we'll stand up just so that we don't hit the fucking...
What's that?
Ah, fucking hell.
Got it now, Mike. Too bad for you.
Right, anyway.
Mike, get out of there.
I'm gonna just load that because I do want to... And there you can actually see a couple of my actual save files from when I played this game last. The PC port isn't the best ever, but it's also not bad. It's certainly a lot better than fucking Alpha, not Alpha Protocol, fucking Deadly Premonition. PC port, and anything that's better than that can't be too fucking bad. You've got shuffly feet in this game. Ah. Oh, actually, now that I remember it, game subtitles on. Okay, so it's just not gonna fucking have them in the beginning. And the way the cameras work is they can only see you. So a camera, there we go, briefcase, gained money, and a dossier information package. So the way the cameras work is they can only see you. Okay, so the way actual hacking works is there are two sequences of letters and numbers that do not move. There we go.
Give it up.
So all the other letters and numbers change all the time, except for the... There we go.
Alright, Mike, that's enough.
Except for the ones that you need to actually activate. So you've got a line of code that you need to move on to another line of code, basically,
that's my
with very broad
hell's
strokes
going
to
on? Why
what
did
a
you
code
drug me?
is.
We need to get the location of this facility confidential, especially if you got kidnapped and questioned.
Is this place hidden?
Very. Not only does this place not exist, but places that think they know about this place, well, they don't exist either.
That's a little confusing.
Hell of a lot easier than politics.
Let me guess. You're not done hazing me yet.
Yep, I'm gonna ask you some questions, run you through some more tests, then you and I can talk. Face to face. That make you feel better?
I'm ready. What tests?
Not a physical, if that's what you're thinking.
No, I figured that was all done while I was unconscious.
And then some. We ran your blood work, checked your vitals. You seem healthy. Just one thing we should check. Your psych profile. I've been reading and rereading your dossier. Although with your experience, it's more like a pamphlet. Fresh out of Langley, we had to wipe behind your ears before shipping you over.
I think I've got potential, sir, and I'm anxious to prove
We'll
it.
see. If you gain more experience in the field, you may want to specialize further. But we can leave that until you've got some missions under your belt. That's it. Now I'm gonna let you out of the pen here and meet the rest of the crew.
All right. Is there anything I should know?
Nothing you can't find out on your own, and from the staff here. They'll
Right.
be running you through the basics of weapons, gadgets, and espionage tactics. When you're cleared on the basics, come find me for your assignment. I
Alright.
won't lie to you, Mike. It's a big one, and dangerous. But I think you're the man for the job. Make the rounds. I'll see you soon.
Great. Just like high school. Take some tests, then chat with the guidance counselor about my future.
Indeed. So, there we go. So, now comes the bit where we pick what our things are going to be. So, I'm going to start with stealth. One stealth and one martial arts. So what I'm going to go for is non-lethal. My build's going to be non-lethal, and it's going to be favoring of the weapons. It's going to be favoring pistols and assault rifles, because you get to carry two weapons into the field, and those two weapons can be any of these four. But my personal approach usually favors pistols and assault rifles. Pistols overall, and then assault rifles for certain situations where I don't mind killing people. Yes, confirm changes, and
Big ass screen.
we can look through here. So we've got a service record here. So this is the skills. Here are the perks. So for example, if we go the professional route in the first conversation, we get +5 endurance, and endurance, of course, increases. It straight up increases our health. Oh no, not health, but the little shield icon on top of the health bar. That's endurance, and that's increased by armor and by certain things. Then we've got, of course, the actual service record, or the stats. So we've got enemies tranquilized, enemies knocked out by hand, subdued total, damage sustained, and killed by hand, killed by gadget, firearms, collateral damage, heavy weapons. Actually, quite a lot of data, and one of my favorite things that is here, there's two things that, first of all, I don't know what they're trying to pull with it, but it's amazing. Orphans created. And that's just funny because that doesn't go up with each kill, I don't think. Because I've killed more people than I've created orphans. So some of the characters in the world just have children. Then you've got, of course, the total medical bills. And because it's America, it does go up quite quickly. So we've already caused, what, 15,000? Shite. Then there's the intel, and here we can see the objectives. So currently report to training sector, the map, the local map, and then we can see some info on factions and individuals. So here we can see the just random pictures from the dossiers, and we can go in here. We can read up on Alpha Protocol, for example. So Alpha Protocol is both the name of a government organization and also the term used by agents that classifies them as rogue agents. So idea is that the agents of Alpha Protocol are agents that can move between government agencies and can do things that other agents couldn't. Then here we've got dossier on Yancy Westridge, who is the chief of operations at Alpha Protocol, and then Mina Tang, who is the intelligence analyst. Analyst. There we go. Lali Lule Low. So, yep.
You probably want to change. Go on. Your gears.
Character customization is very minimal. On the facial appearance, what we've got is we can make him either a whitey, or we can make him slightly olive-skinned. But basically, he's Caucasian, he's American. You've got a couple of different hairstyles that you can pick. Beards, you've got again a couple, and I love how the face just goes all gloopy every time you pick one. So for example, if we want to, we can make him a goateed. Surprisingly, there's quite a few hats, so we can put on different camo hats, stuff like that. My favorite though is the beret and then half rim glasses. Does that beard make him look like a fucking nonce? Oh my god, that soul patch is the douchiest fucking thing ever. So, you know, and you can change his eye color a little bit. Not that that matters in the fucking
Orientation's
life.
not mandatory. You can turn around and go back to Westridge right now.
So, for
Although that might
example,
make
we've
him
now
upset.
created a slightly customized thought, and I'm gonna put a fucking slightly more reasonable beard on him. There we go. See, now he looks like a fucking hipster. I can dig that.
You might want to take it a little easier when you escape next time.
So, oh dear, it's gone a little bit fucky. This is a little bit difficult on the... Where the fuck is it? Oh, there we are. This is a little bit difficult on the keyboard and mouse, unfortunately, but you get used to it quite quickly. And if you are going to be doing a lot of hacking and stuff like that, then you're of course going to be putting more skills into it, so that way it balances out quite well. So we've got 3 different locations that we need to do. We need to do here, gadget orientation. We could also skip this. This is the part of the tutorial that you can skip on further playthroughs,
I'm just setting some things up here. I'm
but
Sean
you shouldn't.
Darcy. I'm going to be running you through tech orientation.
Sounds good. So you've been with Alpha Protocol for a while?
Sure have. Although you seem to have gotten my next assignment.
No hard feelings, I hope.
Are you kidding? Alright, that should be the last of the setup on my end. I'm glad you finally showed up. Thought you might have gotten lost on the way here. Or were too busy beating up some more guards.
Neither. Just surveying the area, actually. Checking out the facility.
Yeah, sure. Oh, by the way, not a good idea. Hitting the guards, I mean. The ones here have a lot of time on their hands, and that means a lot of time to hold grudges.
I'll keep that in mind, but I wasn't expecting to be drugged and attacked.
A good agent's ready for anything, Mikey. But enough chit-chat. We got a lot of work ahead of us. Well, you do. I'm mostly here as an observer. I'll be doing your evaluation, too.
What's that out there? A used car lot?
A target range for you. For me, more like a shooting gallery. Head out the door there and we'll get started.
Alright then.
Open the locker and equip yourself. If you use them all, just come back and grab some more. Alright, everyone's favorite. Grenades. Let's see that arm of yours. Go on. Start checking them. They're concussion rounds, so don't be skittish. They sting, not kill.
So, the person that we were dealing just now is like he said, Sean Darcy, and he is the technical guy. He's the tech specialist, and you might have noticed that with him I used the suave choice, and that's because different people react to different approaches
Hit the target behind the wall.
in different ways.
Behind the target and use the wall for a hook shot.
So, because different people react to different approaches in different ways, it's good to try a little bit out, and that gives the game some tremendous replayability. And another thing is, with the information and the intel that you gather, you
Now
can
for
also
some
find
fireworks. Try and chuck one beneath the truck and take out the gas tank.
you can also find different ways of dealing with people.
Never get tired of that one. Now, see that electronic lock there? Use your EMP grenade to shut it down. Can save you time in the field.
So now we need to put a EMP, or rather chuck an EMP. So we are going to there we go, chuck it about there.
It's shut down. No more lock. Alright, see that locker there?
Let me guess. You want me to place one on the door?
Nice, and just in time.
Hey, Darcy, open up.
Guess some of the other guards will be pulling double shifts for a while. You know
So
those guards you beat up when you got out of medical? Yeah, well, they're gonna be joining us in a second. You've got a head start, so if I were you, I'd set an ambush or just start running. Me, I'd use the mines. That's what they're for.
Just give me a first shot at him.
Spread out. Watch for devices.
Hey, straight up.
and come on, there we go.
Man, the doc's gonna be pissed. Alright, all done. Head on up, Mike. I'll give you a breakdown on your performance.
So that's the quick rundown on devices. Now, the thing with these assignment courses is,
So, Mikey, you did all right on the basic run.
so time taken 41 seconds maybe. Score 90. Guards taken down 4. Score 20. No damage taken. A bonus of 15. So what we have from this is a total evaluation score in gadget orientation of 125. Now the point for this is, if you get a high
Almost
enough,
as good as my record. How about we up the stakes? Take this to the big leagues.
if you get a
Yeah,
high
Mike.
enough score, you get to
Alright,
do
me
a
and the
secret
guards,
little,
who you already met
well,
when you
not a
woke
secret,
up,
but an
pooled our
additional
petty
little
cash.
thing.
We'd like to make you a little bet.
Alright, I'm listening.
It's a rematch, on our terms. It's simple. Disable all the alarms and escape the area in the time provided, and you take home the winnings. If you lose, you'll owe us. Got it?
Sounds good to me.
Just head into the range and we'll get to it, Mikey.
Alright then. Tell your team to get ready.
So
So here we are. Rematch for you and the guards, but on their terms. So listen up. There's alarms hidden all over the course. All you need to do is shut them down. But the guards are going to try and reset them. Every time an alarm goes off, another squad's coming in. And they all want a shot at you, trust me. Alarm goes off enough times, and you're going to get trampled. But you have the technology to beat them. So let's see you even the odds. If you can.
right, so
Cover me.
Nice, when you get back to your medical track.
there we go. Heal up. Check out what. Okay, we've got a couple of these, and these work both as grenades and as and yeah, time doesn't stop.
Here's the alarm again.
And radio mimic, which we can use, and in just a few moments we'll heal up. And radio mimic.
Getting sick of hearing them anyway. Thought they might have you for a second. Guess I was wrong. Alright, head on up and I'll call someone in to clean up the course. And the bodies.
So I'll explain the gadgets a little
Pretty
bit
thorough.
more
Made a real
next
mess of
episode when
things.
we go into an
In a good
actual
way.
thing, like an actual operation, and
That's all I need. See you in the field, Darcy.
I can actually show you
If you say so,
the actual
Mikey.
stuff. So I'm going to be explaining the equipment a little bit more when we actually get access to it. But in this, I'm just going to do the orientation and get the briefing for the first mission. Then we're going to call it done for now, and It's going to be a slightly longer
This is
one
a
this time,
restricted
of course.
area. The vending machines are down the hall and to the right.
I'm here for espionage training.
Westridge's new recruit. Good. There's no time to waste. So, orientation. You are familiar with the premise of an obstacle course, I assume?
Yes.
Excellent. And I don't need to explain. Up the ladder is the training area. The first test is navigating through the environment without being detected. Following that, you'll be facing live challenges against the agents here.
Anything else I should know about running this course?
Yes. I suggest you do it quickly. And talking gives your position away.
What's the deal with the security panel?
It secures the entrance. If you're as capable as Westridge says, then you should have no trouble hacking it and gaining access to the course. Clock's ticking.
Great.
Right, so covert ops.
Course begins now. Hack the door in front of you to gain access to the course.
And, of course, there we go. Oh, fuck. There we are. I need my
Always check
fucking
your
reading
surroundings
glasses.
for cameras. We can't have you appearing on the nightly news. Mind the gap.
So,
The key to stealth is timing. Pay attention to camera movements, then exploit their blind spots.
drop down, go through here, run over here. Wait here.
Well, that's interesting.
Isn't it just takedown? And the reason for the takedowns is that the takedowns give you a slight bonus in the score. So
Taking in the view. Yeah, well, I doubt the view is what's making you hesitate.
and that is one of the annoying things in this particular is that
I've unlocked the security door. Come back to the control room for your evaluation.
that particular point with the
Your score is based on several factors. Sorting the numbers now.
alarm detections 2. So minigames and disabled all guards. So slight bonus 123.
Outstanding. Well above average, especially for a trainee. Okay. Do you want to run it again?
Yeah, I think I can do better.
That would be difficult, but you're welcome to try.
So
If you
I'm gonna
improve, your new score will override the previous one.
So I'm going to run this another time, although I think my score is
Course
high
begins
enough
now. Hack
that
the door
I
in
actually
front of you
don't
gain
need to.
access
I
the
can
course.
get the thing. Okay, 9.5. We get that from there, and the other one is there. So, like I said, it's a
Always
little
check
bit
your
annoying.
surroundings for cameras. We can't have you appearing on the nightly news. Mind the gap. The key to stealth is timing. Pay attention to camera movements, then exploit their blind spots.
So, gonna wait for the camera to move. Drop. Drop. Then, of course, go over here. Pick the door lock. And here we've got two ways of doing this. One is to go through there, get that guy, and the other, which is the slightly more stealthy one, is to jump that fence. Again, like I said, this is the annoying thing. It might not work, and more importantly,
Taking in the view. Yeah, well, I doubt the view is what's making you hesitate.
that guy.
Someone there.
I've unlocked the security door. Come back to the control room for your evaluation.
Your score is based on several factors. Sorting the numbers now.
The second guy needs to be. I did put worse. Yeah, fuck it.
Outstanding. Well above average, especially for a trainee. Okay. Do you want to run it again?
No, I'm not gonna run it again.
I don't think so.
Very well, I'll log the results. Westridge can complete your evaluation once you finish the other tests.
Anything else you could share that might help me out? I feel like I've already got the basics down.
Course not enough of a challenge for you?
No.
Then I have an assignment for you.
This one won't be locked.
What? You mean like a covert training op? Aren't you guys carrying orientation too far?
Nothing about Alpha Protocol is orientation, Agent Thornton, despite the semantics. The penalty for getting caught, however, won't be a poor score. It'll be detention. So, are you up for it or not?
Well, I'm up for it. Let me see what you need. You want me to head back to the medical center? Why? What's the file name?
Jacob, not only will this be a much more practical use of your talents, but I think you'll be curious to see where in the world you're going to be sent.
Any other intel I should be aware of?
Nothing you can't find out on your own. We aren't even having this conversation right now, and the clock is running.
Got it.
So, like I said, you need to get a high enough score in the orientation to unlock what is the secondary thing. So with this, it's actually getting intel for your next mission. With Darcy, you can get some additional funds. It's 20,000, so it's not a massive amount. When it comes to the actual gameplay. So we're gonna knock that guy out, and after that guy's knocked out, we're gonna have a look around this area. There we go. So through here, and can actually walk. So here, pick up briefcase. So we've unlocked more dossier information on Yancey Westridge, and this is information that you wouldn't have if you wouldn't. There we go. We've unlocked dossier information on a person called Nasri as well, and that's all information that can be information about Yancey can be used, of course, because he's working at Alpha Protocol. Information about Nasri is information regarding our actual first op. So that's additional information that may prove helpful. It's not necessary for beating the game or even doing well in the game, but it's a little bit of world information, and it's actually quite interesting because the world in this is quite well fleshed out, which you would hope so for something that touts the name espionage RPG. You would certainly hope that the world would be as fleshed out as possible. Oh, that's a block. We shall knock him over. Hello. Oh dear, you seem to have fallen. There we go. We've got the dossier. Oh, more information. And picking up information, of course, has the practical advantage of actually telling you more about the world, but also it gives again some passive buffs. If you collect enough information, you get certain perks, stuff like that. So it certainly is very advantageous to just keep an eye out and collect as much of the information lying about as possible. And of course the biggest kind of hands-on reward that you get from it is that you know how to interact with certain people so that you can actually get from them what you want. Because this does have the Yancey's going to do the proper talk on how the dialogue system actually works, but this game does actually have some advantages to pissing people off as well. So you might not always want to make people your friends, because befriending and then again making enemies both carry a unique set of advantages and possible disadvantages from both as well. The disadvantages mostly pertain to how the story will unfold, both on the positive and
Did
on
you do
the
as I
negative
asked?
side. So
Got the data, no problem.
I'll download it from your PDA. Were you seen?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, well, then that'll have to be sufficient.
Now that you have this file, anything you can tell me about my real assignment?
You go into the Middle East to recover stolen prototype missile technology. Your probability of success is in the lower 20th percentile.
Wait, I'm going to the Middle East?
I've downloaded intel onto your PDA. That should prove useful when you reach your destination.
That intel you gave me, why wouldn't I have that already if I'm going on the mission?
That is a good question, Agent. I would find an answer to it when you can. If not here, then in Saudi Arabia.
I don't like the sound of that.
Good.
So when am I shipping out?
After you finish your orientation with Westridge, it's customary for him to outline, in his slow and plodding way, his expectations for you. Then he'll send you to fetch, like a good dog.
I'm not sure I like that comparison.
Yeah, well, none of us do, Agent. But such is the nature of the kennel you've been put in. Was there anything else?
What do you actually do here?
My primary role is intelligence analysis, but at times I serve as a handler during sensitive missions.
So you've been on a lot of Alpha Protocol ops?
Key ones, yes. I was involved in the events leading up to your assignment, in fact.
How?
I took on the role of a contractor, an accountant. Money is one of the easiest ways to track events. It often leaves the best fingerprints.
So you're a spy?
I'm an observer. I rarely take action. But the smallest event, if analyzed incorrectly or acted on improperly, could have great repercussions. And that's where I come in, to interpret events.
Like butterfly wings sparking a tornado? That kind of thing?
Spare me the butterfly cliché. Guerrilla actions, nuclear tests, exposing a corrupt politician, a rise in grain prices, and... yes, the downing of an airliner in the Middle East. All of these things have the potential to create larger catastrophes.
Okay.
Controlling the repercussions of these events, getting agents the information they need to put fires out before they rage out of control, that is my job.
So when I'm in the field, my orders come from you or another analyst. My job is what? To listen?
Yes, it's a numbers game. But decisions must be made quickly. If the decisions are solely reactive or passive, well, then you operate at a disadvantage.
So sometimes you create events.
For political equilibrium, yes, at times. At other times, to give America an economic advantage.
I thought we were mostly mission-driven.
We are. But even you will see the effect that even seemingly minor interactions have on the structure of a mission. Carry the logic one step up, and it shouldn't be hard for you to grasp.
That's all I wanted to ask. Hope I didn't take up much of your time.
You did, but it was productive, I hope. Agents rarely take the time to listen to an analyst's perspective.
So basically, what we got a lot of positive reputation with Parker. We got a little bit with Darcy, and now it's time for Mina.
Hello? Anybody shooting in here?
Agent Thornton. Hello.
Hey. Hey, you're the one I spoke to when I woke up in the medical bay. Glad that wasn't a hallucination.
Aren't we all?
May have been. Do you remember my name? Or do I need to write it down for you?
Mina, right?
That's right. Good to see you've recovered from the medical room with your memory intact.
Memory intact? Speaking of which, I don't remember where I left my keys. Or my passport.
Confiscating personal items is quite routine. I wouldn't worry about that. But let's get down to the task at hand. I'm here to run you through the weapons training and test your accuracy.
Alright, what's the next step?
Just head through the door to the firing range, and I'll keep in contact with you over the earpiece. Head over to the table, get your weapons, and we can begin.
Alright, brilliant. Range
The
rules.
standard field agent package includes a pistol, SMG, shotgun, and assault rifle. Each has its strengths and weaknesses. Let's start with the pistol.
Absolutely no horseplay. So,
Equip the pistol, then aim down range and take some shots at the target. good aim. Now, steady your aim for a few seconds. Then fire. Precision shots can take down a target quickly. Now, let's move on to the submachine gun. Now let's empty the clip. Let you get a feel for the recoil.
So this is one of those moments where this game actually does take the kind of action movie, because sometimes this, like in the writing, this game does actually have a very grounded story. It's very much grounded in stuff that could happen, and it's very much grounded in how these how these events might impact the world. But then in some things, like for example, the only way to use an SMG is to use two of them.
Now take cover.
Okay. Reload. Take
Still
cover.
using cover, take some shots at the target. Accuracy's terrible while firing blind, but it can get the job done. Now try popping out and focusing your aim. You can use cover to your advantage here. I've unlocked the door to the tactical range on your right.
So
Let's see how you do against some moving targets.
weirdly, the SMG and the pistol thing, you get a feel for them before the timer starts.
Now, with the pistol, you'll want to be patient and attack when targets get close.
Go.
Good.
There we go. Pick up the ammo, run through, because once again we are on a timer. Run up to the enemy.
Now for the shotgun. Holding the trigger steady and firing can knock down even heavily armored targets.
So the shotgun has a kind of hold down thing, and that actually gives you the possibility of doing a multi-kill.
Now for your submachine guns. If you're trapped in close quarters with multiple opponents, the SMGs can help clear the room quickly. Not subtle or quiet, but
very effective. There we go.
And that's enough.
Run through.
For
Because
long-range encounters,
in this you're
assault
also being
rifles are key.
penalized
It's
for
accurate, powerful.
each miss,
Just be sure to line up your shots carefully.
which is a little bit annoying, but okay. Another thing is, I
Watch
think
for
there's
attackers from above. They may be out of reach, but not rifle range.
so the way this works is,
Take the ladder, head up and back. all
if
done.
you like the way the assault rifle works is it fires a short burst, because of course, as we know, burst control is the best way of 1, managing recoil, 2, managing ammunition, and 3, you know, just taking the target down. But the way it works is the reticule goes smaller and smaller, similar to the pistol,
Is somebody out on
and
the course?
that marks
Darcy. He's trying to beat
when the
your
reticule
time.
is the smallest
How's
it will
he
be.
doing?
That's where the bullets
Not
will
well.
go. All of them
He's
will go straight in a line.
Why?
So what it
As soon
actually
as he knew you were
reduces is the
talking to me,
spread.
Mike, he was in here in a second, in case he saw you as a challenge for my affections. It's like a cage match with you boys.
So how'd I do on the course?
Calling it up now.
77 points. Critical hits 1, multiple enemies 1 shot, 5, misses -8. I think time taken might be the biggest problem here.
That's pretty good. Not the best on record, but still. You can give it another run if you want. The course should be free.
So,
I can beat my own score, no problem.
Okay, let's give it another go. If you do better on this run, your new score will overwrite the previous one.
so I'm gonna run this
I've unlocked the door to
one
the
more
tactical
time
range on your
on
right.
camera, and if that doesn't get it over, and then we're gonna run it a couple of times and resume recording once it actually goes through. So there we go. Optimize time use. Pistol kill.
Now for the shotgun. Holding the trigger steady and firing can knock down
The
even
problem
heavily
with
armored
this
targets.
doing this in a timely manner is that the instruction bit does actually take up quite a lot of additional time, which is why it's important to move quite quickly between and to maintain accuracy.
And that's enough. For long-range encounters, the assault rifle's the key. It's accurate, powerful. Just be sure to line up your shots carefully. Watch for attackers from above. They may be out of reach, but not rifle range. That's it. Take the ladder, head up and back. All done.
I hope that actually that seemed to go pretty quick, so I'm hoping that it did in fact. Let's see how it actually went.
Good, Mike. I'm logging the results now. All right, let's see here.
Well, there was a marked improvement in the score, but the amount of misses also went up.
Not the best on record, but still. You can give it another run if you want. The course should be free.
I can beat my own score, no problem.
Okay, let's give it another go. If you do better on this run, your new score will overwrite the previous one.
So I'm gonna run the.
I've unlocked the door to the tactical range on your right.
Right, I'm gonna run it until I get a proper score, and I'm gonna resume the video from there. So see you in a little bit. So I would say that is probably a pretty good score. Couple of misses, and one of the things about the misses is you will have misses, unfortunately. That's mainly going to be down to shotgun in the corridor bit, the SMG, because the SMG bullets do go wildly everywhere, and the assault rifle firing multiple bullets, far more than is needed to take down each target, in fact, so you are going to have some misses on your record. So what you want to go for is time and critical hits, because the critical hits give an absolutely ludicrous amount of score.
One of the most impressive scores I've seen. With that in mind, you did so well. I'm wondering if you'd be up for something more challenging. A bonus round.
This course is a joke. Did you scale it down for that jackass? I could walk the rest of the way.
Jackass? Now I'm hurting.
So will Darcy. Did I mention we don't use live rounds? They still sting, though.
I'm listening.
Go in there, and if you can hit Darcy where it counts, that'd be worth a recommendation in my report. And worth some rep with Westridge. And it'd be earned.
Sure, sounds good. Any preference on weapon?
These targets are pretty easy for someone to hit. Thornton could have aced this thing blind.
Give me the gun.
So
Let's start with the pistol again. Don't worry. We're using tranquilizer rounds, so you won't be doing any lasting harm to your targets.
So we get a tranq pistol.
Besides, turnabout is fair play. They drugged you, so...
There we go.
Alright, you're all done. Head on back.
So Mina's bonus challenge is shooting Darcy in the dick.
All right, let's see here. Well done. Critical hit. I don't think I have to worry about Darcy coming by again.
Anything else I can do?
No, Agent Thornton. Mission accomplished. If you haven't seen Westridge yet, you may want to pay him a visit after all the training is done. You've certainly aced this exercise.
Right, there we go. So, having a quick check now at the service record. We've leveled up for one. Awareness, silent running awareness. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this into pistols this time. For the I'm going to go for the pistols so that I can get chain shot, which is the pistol skill. Basically, it's like was it Red Eye in Red Dead Redemption? Anyway, so we've got cage match, 5% weapon discount from Saudi vendors, 5% gadget discount, and 5% Intel discount. So it might seem like, 5% might not be worthwhile, but it does add up weirdly. It does add up because most of the vendors you can get multiple discounts from multiple sources, and some of the vendors do stay with you throughout the game as well.
You guys must have spent a fortune on the TVs in this place.
You all done?
You tell me.
Now you're learning. I have to admit I was worried whether we'd be able to keep you here after you woke up in medical. You gave our staff a run for its money.
I gave it my best, and so did they.
Fair enough. It'll be a good excuse to up the morning drills around here. Looks like you did well on the tech portion of the test. Very well. Past Darcy's bitching, there's some real compliments in here if you look at the numbers. Mina's report on your weapon skill was impressive. In fact, I think you outperformed many of the guards. And it's your first day.
She's a good teacher.
She is. And she has a good eye for potential. I'll let her know your opinion. And here's a surprise. A positive evaluation from Parker. On the number side as usual. But he actually took the time to write a sentence.
He did? What was the sentence?
You may have been right about this one, Westridge. For Parker, that's high praise. Assuming you don't let us down, Mike. Looks like that's it for the physical evaluation. Now for the hard part. Tell me why you're here. Not everyone gets chosen for this line of work, but you volunteered. Usually we have to ask.
I want to serve my country.
And you think by being assigned here is the best way to do that?
Give me a mission and I'll prove it.
What makes you think you're ready? Because I tell you, we get a lot of recruits in here, and you're not convincing me.
I get an opinion? Or is that a rhetorical question?
All right, let me be more specific. Beyond the guns, tech, and sneaking around in the dark, there's one last part of this job that nobody else here quite gets.
I'm listening.
Good, because listening is a large part of it. The way you talk to people, your attitude. That's what we're going to discuss now.
I'm not sure I understand. Is there something wrong with how I deal with people?
No, believe it or not, you're not here because you're a people person. You're here because your psych profile says you're skilled at manipulating others.
Was that a compliment?
You'll see. The way you project yourself definitely affects what people think of you, and your reputation with them.
And if I want to impress them?
You don't always want to or need to. Having a good or bad rep with someone can actually gain you different benefits. Sometimes you want to piss someone off so they can't think straight. Other times you want to build a strong rapport with someone and talk your way out of a bad situation. All depends on your objective. This goes for your handlers as well. We're going to be sending you into a lot of dangerous places, and your only backup is going to be who you're talking to on your headset. How you treat them is going to have an effect on the success of your mission.
So if I piss them off, I'm screwed?
No. A handler that likes you too much and puts emotions before the mission can be just as dangerous as one who resents you.
This is a long way of telling me that I should just act the way I want? I didn't realize this was an acting gig.
No, again, there are no bad choices, just results. Over time, folks may hear about you and your attitude before they meet you. They may have a preconceived notion of how you're going to treat them, which can affect their reaction.
Well, maybe they should take the time to know the real me.
If only. Time's something no one seems to be able to spare, especially during a conversation. Although that can be a plus.
If I need a breather to assess the situation, right?
The clock doesn't stop when you're speaking to someone. So if you need to get your second win before a fight, making small talk can buy you time.
But if I'm running on adrenaline, won't chatting take me off my guard?
It can. So if you need to get to the point, act instead of fight. For example, if you don't think I have any more to teach you, then you could just say, I'm done with this. I wouldn't think any less of you. You seem to have the basics down.
And if they're a target, why talk to them at all?
Sometimes it is better if you shoot first. Still, approaching someone to talk to them can allow you to get the drop on them if you get close enough to strike. Use it if you have to, if the conversation isn't going your way. Assuming there's even a way you want the conversation to go.
So how do I know how someone wants to be treated? At least enough to cooperate.
If that's what you want to do, pay attention to the clues in your environment. Sometimes people will have advice, and intel can help. But there's another way. Read much?
Well, I read the recruiting pamphlet. Got me this far.
There's a host of information out there through dossiers, email, and other documents that represent total research others have collected on a target, organization, or operation.
And what does that get me, exactly?
Sometimes you'll spot obvious triggers. People who don't respond well to smartasses, like me. Others who respect loyalty, duty, a professional approach. Others who don't have time for bullshit, and like it when you get to the point. But dossiers just don't contain psych information. They'll usually have combat information on your target as well. What side they favor, any past injuries, common weapons or tactics they use. Some of it blunt, some of it subtle. But if push comes to shove, it can give you an edge in combat. The more you've done your homework, the more vulnerable they'll be.
So when the guns come out, the dossier can come into play. Have you read mine?
Several times.
You have dossiers on everyone here?
Yep, if you can dig them up. You might learn a few things. Sometimes reading a dossier will give you more options when dealing with others. A few facts to bring up, to shake secrets loose.
What about you?
You should already know what makes me happy, Mike. And what pisses me off.
How do I know when I have the go-ahead to start accessing files?
After meeting a target or hearing their name referenced by someone else, you should have a target ID. Then hop onto the database and start doing your homework. You can usually unlock their basic information at that point. Let's start with a simple one. Al-Samad. That should be familiar to you.
The terrorist group.
Yes, you can research groups as well as people. It doesn't carry the same benefits, but it can provide useful intel in the field. Talking to people about others is a good way to help gain dossier information. Sometimes people will have information on someone that can unlock a brand new thread in your computer search.
Okay, so I've suffered through your interrogation and know how to give one if need be. Am I ready or not?
We'll see. Meet me in the command center, and I can give you a proper mission briefing.
Good, because I'm sick of this room.
Trust me, Mike. If it was up to me, you'd never see this interrogation cell again.
Right, there we go. So that's the tutorial part of the game done, and
Recognize him?
short
That's
briefing.
Sheikh Ali Shahid, the voice of Al-Samad. They say he was responsible for shooting down that airliner in the Middle East.
Yeah, he got his hands on some prototype Halbeck technology. A missile with a multi-stage targeting system called Jacob's Ladder. That airliner was his first target.
But how did Shahid get his hands on that missile?
Missiles. He's got more. He stole them from Halbeck, and we need them back before he gets any more trigger-happy. Then we want you to kill him.
Understood, but if the opportunity presents itself, should I take him alive?
If you can. Either way, we want him out of the picture, and away from any more taped broadcasts.
If I can bring him back here, I will.
All right, then, pack your gear. You're heading to Saudi Arabia.
Not coming with me?
I'll be there in spirit, and on video and radio when needed, Agent.
And I just got here. Oh, well, I'm gonna miss this place.
I doubt it. I'll contact you when you reach Saudi Arabia.
Right, so our first results screen. Objectives completed 23 out of 23. The amount of that can vary wildly because you need to actually discover some of the optional objectives yourself, so you don't get the full objective count at the end. You just get the objectives that you have unlocked and then the ones that you've actually completed. So XP earned, objectives, enemies, evading enemies, hidden loot found, brilliant, enemy loot taken, and total cash acquired 22,500. So then there's a little short description about what happens. So that the white text is basically always there. Like that's just the basic text. Then we get the bonus objective stuff. So we excelled on the weapons range, and Agent Darcy was also hit and injured due to a weapon misfire. Sean Darcy reports that I'm very inventive with explosives, and apparently there was a miscommunication in training schedules and several guards were injured in the gadget range. Alan Parker thought that, yeah, I did very, very well. and I also vanished for a short while.
Care to explain how Halbeck lost its missiles?
Old news. An accounting error.
The missiles. You didn't lose them, did you?
Angry, Mr. Thornton? Because of what happened in Saudi Arabia?
So basically, how the game works and how the story is told.
I'm getting lots of interference.
I made it to Saudi Arabia, sir. I'm at the safe house.
I guessed that much. See any shadowy agents in trench coats at the airport?
No, sir, I don't think so.
That was a joke, Mike. But stay on your toes anyway. Finding Shahid is your primary objective. Trouble is, we don't know his location. But we have 3 leads. An arms dealer, Nasri, is believed to have sold the missiles to Shahid, and he's currently operating in Saudi Arabia. If you can intercept him, maybe he can tell you where Shahid is, or guide you to the missiles.
Do we have anything else on Nasri?
Nothing more than what's in his dossier. If you can manage to make any contacts and find out more, we'd welcome it. We also tracked down the location of an airfield Shahid used in the past. If you can sneak in and plant a listening device, we may be able to track flight Shahid is using to move through Saudi Arabia.
And the third lead?
We've got the coordinates of an Al-Samad detention camp, also used as a stockpile for weapons. We suspect the missiles may be stored there.
Is there any way to be sure the missiles are there?
Not at this time. The area is dug into the side of a canyon, and getting reliable satellite imagery when sandstorms aren't blowing has been almost impossible. We'll want you to go in alone, recon the area, and shut down their radar and communications. Once that's down, we can call in air support and hit the camp hard.
No pressure.
And no backup. Get used to it. It's the job. You check out your new home yet? It's got some perks you might be interested in.
Full security system?
A computer with a hub connection so fast you'll feel like you're going back in time.
What, to the Stone Age? Please.
You can do dossier research, encrypted emails, and if need be, access some of the weapons dealers in the area. That'll be done on your own dime, however, using whatever funds you can find in Saudi Arabia.
I understand, sir. We wouldn't want Alpha Protocol tied to any weapons trafficking in the Middle East.
Exactly. There's also a weapons locker in the main living area. Open it up, help yourself, but use the ammo and armor you think suits the mission. When you're ready to head out, just use the front door, or access the missions from the main terminal. I'll have already uploaded all the mission specs to your PDA. You can review them at any time.
Alright, so is that it?
Alright.
Westridge. Great.
Right,
Home
so
sweet home.
Stop talking. Right, so that's the orientation, that's the beginning tutorial, stuff like that, and going forward from here we're going to go back probably to the half-hour episodes. This one's just a little bit longer so that we can actually get into the story. So next time we're going to, of course, explore this place, and we're going to do some stuff in Saudi Arabia, so be on the lookout for that on Wednesday. And for now, thank you for joining me, and yeah, goodbye.